We're about to get rained on.
I'm glad you woke up, Elayna.
I felt the air go cold. We're gonna get these mattresses inside. Oh man. Oh my god! Someone is angry. Not kidding, there is hail right now.
We pretty much spent the entire morning making sure we weren't dragging anchor, us and the neighbours. There were a fair few other boats that morning who did have to reset themselves.
We are both so tired. And you just can't relax. Like, I think the storm's passed, but even still it's really rocky and we're worried that our anchor's dragging.
Oh, that boat next door. The fender is like squashing against the concrete.
Last time you were with us, we arrived here to the Greek island of Kefalonia, where we tied off to the town quay. Luckily, we were in one of the most protected natural harbours when the storm hit this morning. Our journey getting here was a fun one. We crossed the Ionian Sea and got to visit the incredible shipwreck beach at an island south of here, which is a massive highlight of our Mediterranean trip so far. The weather cleared up and this morning I was off for a run. It was going to be a day full of adventure, scooter riding around the island.
I don't want to be on film because of my bad haircut. Because of his what?
Because of his bad haircut.
One copy?
Yep.
Perfect.
It was Jack's last day with us and he really wanted to see as much of the island as he could. So that meant zipping around on a scooter. We were pumped. We headed east to check out a cave. Alright, so what's the story with your hair, Rowie? Nah, it'll be fine, Rowie.
It looks terrible, Elayna.
Once you get some salt water in it, it'll go curly.
He just looks like he's 15 again. 15 with a thick mo.
Aww. Look at
They tell me in a week it'll be okay again. Very devo. Everywhere you go, apart from the odd, really, really remote destination on your boat, has got tourists, railing and carpet. I would swim the shit out of that.
can't believe you can't swim in it. Can I get through here?
You could swim down and get that car.
Unfortunately, you can't swim here. The only way to see the cave is by boat. So this is the Melissani Cave. The maximum depth is 39 metres. It's 160 metres long and 40 metres wide. Its stalactites date back to 16,000 to 20,000 years ago. Melissani has been the site of several excavations which have brought to light a number of finds, most of them from the 3rd and 4th century BC. A number of female figures have also been found, the famous nymphs. Cool, we'll read up on the nymphs, hey? A bit more info on those later?
I love nymphs.
Yeah?
The Melissani Cave was supposedly named after the nymph Melissani of Greek mythology. She was in love with the god Pan, who paid her no attention, so she reportedly ended her life and threw herself into the lake below.
There you go.
Very sad, very sad.
And what about the nymphs?
That's it.
She's the nymph.
She is the nymph, Melissani.
And they haven't found her?
Well, she's in there somewhere.
It's a myth.
It's a myth.
She's a mythical god.
Oh,
No,
okay.
but the excavations that you were talking about, yeah, they found some stuff in there that they're excavating.
That they dated
and they're
back.
trying to add credence to the myth.
Okay.
So that was a relevant question.
Next on our list was Myrtos Beach, one of the beaches used in Captain Corralis Mandolin, which was filmed right here in Kefalonia.
I'm too afraid to say it on camera, but it's a trimaran. No, I think it's a Corsair, and I've been looking at them and it looks like the carbon racing version, but it could be a Dragonfly or it could be a few other different trimarans. But
It looks fun. It's fun, man.
I like this.
You got one right here.
So apparently the milkiness that you see in the water, that bright blue milky deliciousness, is from the limestone washing into the water.
Let's go for a swim.
We had to cut our trip short. Jack was late for the airport. Jack's late for the airport.
Dude, I'm so
Oh shit. I don't think he made it. Too much fun on the scooters today.
He's worse than I am.
What? What have you done? What? Is it not for another hour or so?
like
It's not for 3 hours.
What are you?
Alright, take number 2.
And we're probably late.
Yeah, we're probably late now.
You reckon?
Alright, well it's Jack's last few minutes in the presence of Riley and I. So much has happened in 3 years. Crazy.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Alright, so
Taught me quite a few little things like sail trimming, reversing in, and different little stuff like that
that's handy.
that he's learnt over the years. Different sorts of stuff.
Cool.
So that's been good. Where to from here, mate?
yeah, so I'm going to go to the BVIs and teach sailing for a bit over there. I've just done my RYA cruising instructor in England, so yeah, go and put that to use in the BVIs, and then yeah, I don't know.
What would be the dream job?
What's your goal?
I wouldn't say no to like a 60-foot gunboat or something.
Let's
or
go
like
80, hey?
80-foot gunboat. Yeah.
Skipper at 80-foot gunboat, that'd be amazing.
No, 80 or 90-foot swan or something like that. Yeah, I wouldn't say no.
If there's any boat owners out there, Jack will be available.
Mr. and Mrs. Chevron at VHP.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. Until next time.
Cheers, guys.
Like my haircut.
It looks better now, it's had a bit of wind and water in it.
Perfect.
Love you, Jack! Thank you, we had such a good time, man.
So good to see you.
Hug time for the boys.
Mate.
So cute.
The previous day, we were invited on board Proxima Vita, a 455 Dufour owned by Stephen from New Zealand, and this is his dad, Kiwi. These guys had quite an interesting story and they were happy to share it with us. Kiwi was over to help Stephen sail until an accident happened whilst he was being hoisted up the mast by another crew member. Tomorrow he would be flying back to Australia. Sadly, this was the end of his trip. So I've got my two new best mates here, Stephen and Kiwi. Pulled up next to them a couple of days ago. We've had a few beers. It's a reasonably similar story to mine. Well, it is and it isn't, but I won't go on. I'll ask Stephen. So, how long ago did you buy this boat, mate?
Probably 4 months ago.
4 months ago. The plan is to
Sail back to New Zealand.
How long did it take you to save up?
Oh, I've wanted to do this for probably 7 years. I'm working on a mine for about the last 3 years.
Okay, very similar to myself.
Yeah, just saved and then got out of there.
Banked it.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
Good move.
Stevie was really focused on what he wanted
Yeah,
to get, to achieve,
yeah.
and get out of there as quick as he could, and he's done it.
Bingo.
You sound very proud, Kiwi. Good
Sure
on you,
am.
mate. Yeah.
What were you looking for when you were researching boats? Like, did you have any clue about sailing before you bought the boat?
Oh, I've sailed when I was younger,
Yeah.
and I sort of knew what I wanted. I needed something with some good size so I could store heaps of stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted at least 3 to 4 cabins, fridge, freezer.
It's a pretty nice, it's a very, very nice boat to start out
It's
in.
a good layout, and
Yeah.
it sails reasonably quick.
Yeah. And it motors fast as well.
It
Yeah.
motors
Yeah.
really well.
Okay, so
So-
tell us a bit about that, Kiwi. You You were explaining it to me last night. It's pretty hectic.
Well, the lazy jack line broke at the top of the mast,
Mm-hmm.
so I went up there to redo it,
Mm-hmm.
and coming down there was just a bit of miscommunication. I was sitting in the bosun's chair, and the spinnaker line was using that as a safety line.
Yep.
I fell about a metre probably, eh?
Oh, no, it was just going tight.
It was just tight.
As I was
pulling.
releasing it, the other one wasn't getting released.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's what was cut into my chest.
Yep.
I was okay, I felt it fine, but then
Yeah.
Stevie and I went into town to pick up some stainless steel.
But that happened twice.
Yeah, twice coming down.
It was pulling
yeah.
tight, like the safety line wasn't getting released, and
Yeah.
it was pulling
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah.
And then
So I was hanging, I wasn't sitting in the bosun's chair.
He was on the safety
I
line,
was just on the safety line, yeah.
and then he's like, "Oi!"
And
like,
you and you were saying, oh, sorry to laugh.
Yeah,
You were saying last night. You were saying that you sort of felt a little bit off, and,
Yeah, well,
and you were
Stevie
saying,
and-
Stephen,
yeah.
oh, are you right, mate?
well,
and then
Steve-
you were like,
yeah,
no, I'm
yeah,
alright.
no,
And then it got a bit worse.
We went into the hardware store to pick up the stainless steel for the solar panels. And we were in the hardware store, and like I just felt a bit sweaty and hot, and he says, "Oh, do you need to sit down?" I said, "No, I'm all right." And then I started to get a little bit, a bit tight in the chest and
Yeah.
the side. And they said, "Yeah, I think I will sit down." And then he says, "Do you think I should get an ambulance?" And I said, No, I'm okay. I'll just sit down, I'll be right, And then I couldn't breathe, and I got this massive pain in my side. And then I said, I think I need to get an ambulance.
Oh,
And I ended up on the floor in the hardware store, just doubled over in pain.
Yeah.
And it was just the pain was so intense. So what happened was, with the compression on my chest, I got air in my chest cavity,
Yep.
and then that caused my lung to collapse. The hospitals in Greece, because of the cuts over the years, they're a little bit run down.
Mm-hmm.
The food is not very good.
And Stephen was saying that he was changing your drip out.
I'd have to monitor it and watch it, make it
They-
go,
they-
and then change the oxygen.
Yeah.
There was a tube in there going into the box, and every time I coughed or breathed, it was bubbling air out of
So it was a little box with a little metering, and it would go through water as a one-way valve system.
Yeah, yeah,
And
really.
you'd hear it. I'd sit there at night time, just sitting there, and you're
Yeah,
breathing and bubbling away.
Oh, that's so gross.
it. Yeah, I'm going to go back to Brisbane now, get checked out. I mean, the Greeks did the best they can. They've told me to go home and get checked out. If I can come back, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always in the back of my head that I might have to do this all by myself.
Yeah.
So it was always something that I was prepared for. So,
I mean, that was his plan, to do it on his own. And then I said, look, I'm happy to come with you if you want me to come with you.
Yeah.
So
My old man's just retired, and he's just constantly on the phone going,
He wants to come live
What are
on
you
the
doing?
boat, hey?
What are
it's
you doing?
hilarious.
where are you?
It's like him, he's
and I
like-
won't tell him. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no.
He's like, I'll come, sell the house, quit his
yeah, I
job.
sold my house, quit the job,
you-
sold everything up.
So plans moving forward. So where are you going from here? You're going to cross the Atlantic at the end of the year?
Yeah, across the Atlantic. Hopefully, I could stay here for the winter.
Yeah. Is it a bit of a daunting task for you? Or?
Of course I've got to, but it's something that I'm comfortable with. I can
He's
handle
got
it.
enough experience now.
Yeah, I can handle it.
He's
Yeah, I
got
can
friends that
sail it.
can come over.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have 2-3 other people when I do the crossing. It'd
Yeah.
be nice, but at the end of the day, if I need to do it, I'll do it.
I've got a very deep respect for you,
Yeah,
Stephen.
But I think the most daunting thing is mooring the boat. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
only bit that worries me. I'd rather sit in 40 knots out at sea than 40 knots in a marina. I feel safer out there than I do in a
Hell
marina.
yeah.
Yeah. Heading
Right.
downwind with no leash or.
Yeah.
There's a few.
Yeah, I don't want to be beating into it, that's for
A
sure.
lot of people have.
Thanks for watching. Join us next week through the Corinth Canal with my pal Kayla. We brush shoulders with cliff walls and cute dogs on our way to the Greek islands.
'Cause my baby, she is waiting.